So I'm going to show you how to turn your photos into paintings without picking up a paintbrush. Now, here is exactly what I mean. Watch the photo, boom, it becomes a painting. And I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing with your photos, and you can do it literally in one click. So the goal of this presentation is to help you turn your own photos into paintings so that you can ideally print them and put them on your wall at home. And as a photographer, your goal, especially in landscape photography, is to create your own art. And this technique I'm going to show you is one more tool that you're going to have to create your own fine art. My goal for this web class is to show you the fastest and easiest way that you can turn your photos into paintings, literally with one click. And the results are simply amazing. And I just can't wait to show you these results. Let me tell you how I got excited about this. I have been a landscape photographer for most of my life, and I am motivated by the desire to create my own fine art images that will stand out from the crowd. But as we all know, online photos on social media don't get nearly the same attention today that they used to a few years ago. And to be honest, I started getting a little bit bored with my own photography, and I started to kind of lose heart, and I didn't feel like getting out there into the field as much as I used to be creative. And recently I walked into a photo gallery in the city where I live, and I noticed that everything on the wall in this print and framing gallery was a painting. And then at the same time, a couple who are very close to my wife and I just got home from a trip to Europe. And as soon as they got home from this trip to Europe, for some reason, they got really excited about buying some paintings for their home. And they bought 4 paintings. They're all abstracts. And they were quite excited to show them off. They asked us to come over to see these paintings. And they had spent $2,000 on these 4 paintings that were quite small. They absolutely loved them. They were like giddy over these 4 paintings. And this made me think, like, am I missing something here? So here's the thing, is that so many consumers value paintings, painted art, more than they value photographic art. And I think part of the reason for that is because everyone and their dog is able to take a photo with their phone, and everyone has a phone. So I started to think, can I turn my own photos into a painting? So I got our Photography Academy team together, and we started to research how we can turn a photo into a realistic looking painting with many different styles for you to choose from. And we worked on it for months, and we discovered that what we were wanting to do was actually no small task. It was complicated. Turning a photo into a painting usually involves a highly complex series of processes inside Photoshop. And as we got deeper and deeper into our research, I began to see that this was not something that I was going to be able to easily teach to the rest of our community. And what we needed was to create a tool so that anyone could use that tool and would be able to turn their own photos into paintings literally with just one click. So that's what we did. We created a brilliant piece of AI that can turn any photo into an amazing painting, complete with brush strokes and textures that look incredibly realistic without touching a paintbrush and without getting complicated and confused within Photoshop. Let me show you some examples, and then I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So this is a photo that I took of Moraine Lake. So it's a great photo. I love it. But what would this look like if we turn it into a painting? So here it is as a painting. Now this is using our Van Gogh light painting effect. And this was one of our first successes after we created our new AI tool. And I was so excited about seeing this, and I loved it so much, I ordered a canvas print. So let me show you the canvas print that I have. This is 24 inches wide. So it's a nice canvas print here, and in real life it looks absolutely fantastic. I think with the camera maybe you can't quite see as much of the painted detail as I can when I'm seeing it in real life, but what's really awesome, we used a company called easycanvasprints.com, and this only cost me $33 US to get it printed 2 feet wide. So we're not talking about expensive things here. And because it's printed on canvas, there is that natural texture in the background. This truly looks like a painting. And I'm really excited about it. And it's definitely going on the wall. Let me show you another one. Get back to my screen again. So this is another example. It's a high resolution panorama image of Spirit Island in Jasper National Park. This is one of my favorite photos of all time. It's definitely one of my most sold images. And I actually have this photo printed 8 feet wide on aluminum at home, but I wanted to see how would this look as a painting? So this is a super high resolution image, very, very high resolution. So let's convert this. And here it is using the same Van Gogh light painting style applied to it. And here is another painting style. We call this one mid-century modern. And it just has a beautiful effect. Like I love looking at all the green branches on the trees on the island. It just has such a beautiful art kind of effect. And here's another style. We call this one Van Gogh abstract. So it's a more abstracty. And let me show you what the first version looks like in print. So I got this one done. This is actually 36 inches wide. Now this is not the abstract version. This one is called Van Gogh Light. And in the camera, you're not quite seeing as much detail, but in real life, it just looks absolutely beautiful. It's printed on canvas. And this being 36 inches wide, let me just move it over. So it's a very large image. This was about, I think, $55 US to get this printed at Easy Canvas Prints. So we're talking about a relatively inexpensive thing that you can do in order to create more art for your home. And I am super excited about it. Here's another one that I did. This is a Seattle skyline. And I took this one. I was really happy with this photo. But look at the painting when it's done in a really abstract Van Gogh style. It just looks so cool. And I'm just really loving the look of some of these. Here's another one for you. So this is a lavender field. I took this photo in France during a lightning storm, but let's convert this now into a painting. And here it is in the Van Gogh paint style. And it just looks, you know, it just has that art kind of look to it. And yeah, here's another one. This is Sunburst Mountain. This is another very high resolution image. And now here it is with the Van Gogh light paint style applied to it. Looks really, really nice. And this one is Van Gogh abstract. See how it's, I'm going to back up. So here's Van Gogh light, and you can see there's a lot more texture. And here's Van Gogh abstract. And here is a zoom in of Van Gogh abstract, just so you can have a closer look at the paint strokes that are actually there. Like it just looks fantastic. So would you like to see how this works? Would you like to see a live demo and how you can turn your own photos into paintings? I am now inside Photoshop. This is Adobe Photoshop, and watch how easy this is. I'm going to open a tab here. It's called Actions. And what we have created, what our tool is, it is a Photoshop Action. So let's see how easy this is to do. I'm going to convert this photo into a painting style called Mid-Century Modern. So all I have to do is click one time on Mid-Century Modern and go down to this play button right here and click play. And there is my effect. Look at how beautiful that looks. I'll just move the screen out of the way. Like it's just such a beautiful looking painting, this type of style, but it isn't, we're not limited to just one style. And so I'm going to do another one now. And I go to Actions. Now I would like to see Van Gogh light. This is one of my favorite ones, Van Gogh light. So let's click on play. And now we count 1, 2, 3, and in 3 seconds, we have our Van Gogh light image. So that's looking really good. And let's go with Van Gogh abstract and just see how that looks. I'll just make this fit on screen, and I'll just delete the layer that I just created. So now I'm starting fresh again. I go to Actions, and I look for the action called Van Gogh abstract. I've just clicked on it. So there's my first click. is select Van Gogh Abstract, and my second click is to click the play button. And I just clicked it, and it'll probably be another 3-4 seconds, and we will see the overall effect. So here it is as Van Gogh Abstract. Such a cool look. It's almost like flames in a way, just a really beautiful rendition of this. Now let's go even further. So I'm going to reset and click delete and go back to actions. And let's see how this looks as a watercolor. So I'm going to click on watercolor and then click on the play button. And now the action is working. Let's make this a little bigger, fit on screen. So there's our watercolor looking nice. And I'll just go back to history and click plus so that I can start over again. And I'm going to delete that layer. So I'm just resetting each time, and let's make this bigger. There we go. And what else should I try? I've got Bob Ross painting. Let's try a Bob Ross painting. Here we go. And I'll click on play on Bob Ross. So what's actually happening here is that we are conducting dozens and dozens, and sometimes even over 100 different Photoshop movements, Photoshop commands, and we're doing them all at the same time. And this Bob Ross look looks really great. I'll do one more. I'll just click on plus again, and I will delete what I've got. And let's go to actions. And now I have a different collection called the Classical Painters, or the Master Painters. And I'm going to go to Edvard Munch. And Edvard Munch was one of the greats, and he had a style that was very much, it was a very dark style with a lot of black tones. And there it is. And let's just move this out of the way. So let's kind of summarize what I've just done in the few minutes since I started showing this to you. So here we are with the mid-century modern. And I'd kind of like it, actually. If you drop in the chat, it would be so good for me to know, out of the 6 that I'm about to show you right now, which one is your favorite. So here's number 1. It's mid-century modern. And here's the next one, which is Van Gogh Light. And I do like that one a lot. And this one is Van Gogh Abstract. So all the shapes have been, the detail has been removed. So that's Van Gogh Abstract. And this one is watercolor. And this one is Bob Ross. And the last one that I did was Munch. Let me know which one that you liked the most. And you saw how easy this was for me to do. It really was one button click. And just a really quick word on the installation, because sometimes with installing things such as presets, people would like to know, how easy is it to install? Well, it is literally a double click, and these actions install themselves into Photoshop. So the photo that I just created, we just created a little mock-up of what it would look like on your wall at home. And, you know, I look at this and it's like, wow, this is art. This truly is art. That we as photographers, we're not limited only to photographs, but we are creating art. So a couple more before and afters. This is a photo that I took of rice paddies in China. Here it is with the mid-century modern paint style applied to it. It looks really cool. I like it. And here it is zoomed in close, just so that you can see the paint strokes just a little bit better. Here's another one that I shot of a pier that's close to home for me. I took this photo at sunrise, and here it is in the watercolor paint style applied to it. And just so you can see it a little better, here it is zoomed in a little tighter. Looks nice. It looks truly like a watercolor. And when you print it on canvas, you are doing the exact same thing that a painted print is done. When you're not buying an original, when you're buying a print of a painting, essentially the process of creating that print is identical here to what a painter would do. Here's another panorama that I shot in the Italian Dolomites. This location in my brutal English accent is called Sasita. It's called something else in Italian, but it's an incredible place to visit. This is a super high resolution panorama. And here is the painted effect after I applied. I think I went Van Gogh Abstract on this one. Here's the Grand Canyon. I shot this at sunset. I love this photo, but I also love the painting of the photo. And so you can see that this tool makes it possible literally with just one click. So I want to introduce you to this awesome new tool. It's called Oil Painting Transformation. And there is an instant one-click installation into Photoshop. It will help you to turn your photos into paintings in just one click, just what I just did live right in front of you. What's beautiful about this is that the original resolution of your image is printable as a high resolution output. So if you have a high resolution file to start with, then your output is going to be equally as high resolution. And you're going to be able to create your own art from the old photos that you have that are sitting on your hard drive. You get 14 different painting effects with this package, including Van Gogh Light, Van Gogh Abstract, Bob Ross 1, Bob Ross 2, detailed oil painting, mid-century modern. That's one of my favorite ones, is mid-century modern. Charcoal sketch, new realism, pen and ink, acrylic painting, abstract acrylic painting, paint by numbers, abstract watercolor, and regular watercolor. So what does this cost? Is this going to cost $497? No. $297? No. $197? No. $97? No. So the value on this is $97, but we are having a celebration this week, our 100,000 member in the Facebook group celebration, and I am dropping the price down to just $47. So if you would like to pick this up, you can get it now, or you can also enter the URL directly into your browser if you don't see the link. And the URL is learn.photographyacademy.com/paint. Once again, it's learn.photographyacademy.com/paint. Now, I've got quite a few questions that have kind of come in, and I'd like to answer some of these questions for you. So what if my photo is not sharp? Will it still produce a good image? Yes, absolutely. In fact, this painting effect will help you save your photos that are not sharp, because when you turn them into paintings, they don't need to be as sharp to start with, but they will look sharp after they're turned into a painting. So are these effects just a filter? No, these are not a filter like on Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok. These are high resolution effects that can transform your images into realistic, high resolution paintings that can be printed in large format. They are non-destructive, and they can be altered or changed in Photoshop to make them work on any image. What versions of Photoshop are compatible with these oil painting effects? This AI painting effect package is compatible with new versions of Photoshop. You need an updated version of Photoshop. But you may be asking, well, I have Photoshop CS6. I have an old version. Will it still work? It will work. You can still install it in CS6 or an older version, but you won't get 100% of the functionality out of it. You'll still be able to turn your photos into paintings, but there will be some features that won't work on the older versions. Are these high resolution enough to print? Yes, absolutely. The resolution of your original image is going to determine the resolution of your final image. Does this work on portraits and on wildlife? Yes, absolutely. And the paintings look amazing. Is this a monthly subscription? No, it is not. You have lifetime access with just one payment. Are these effects different from what my camera can do? Yes, this is totally different than what your camera might be able to do. These AI painting effects that we have created allow you to use your RAW files or your JPEG files to create a super high resolution image in a non-destructive fashion that can be changed or altered. And these will allow you to get the highest resolution paintings possible. What's really cool about it is that you're in Photoshop. So once you've created your painting, and if you like one of the styles, you might say, you know what, I think I'd like to see more orange tones in this. Well, no problem. You're in Photoshop. Turn up the orange tones. Or I'd like to see it just a little bit brighter. Or I'd like to crop it now. Easy to do because you're in Photoshop. Does this work with Lightroom? No, you cannot have layers and actions inside Lightroom. So this has to be done within Photoshop. Will I be able to make prints using these painting effects? Yes. Absolutely. And it's so easy. You'll be able to create high resolution prints. I recommend that you print them on canvas so that there's no reflection, and then they'll look as realistic as possible and as close as possible to an actual painting. And I've already printed 6 of them. I showed you 2, and they look absolutely outstanding. Do these effects work with raw photos? Yes, absolutely. I always encourage you to shoot your photos, take your pictures using RAW, and that's how you get the best results. Can I edit or alter these effects? Yes. When you buy the package, it comes with a mini course that shows you how to edit and how to alter these effects to make them look the best on your photographs. Are these effects an app? No, it is definitely not an app. This is new AI technology that has been developed by the Photography Academy team, and they work inside Photoshop. Will these effects work on my iPad, or will they work on my phone? No, they will not work on Photoshop on your iPad or your phone. And the reason for that is that Photoshop on your iPad or your phone is a stepped down version. It's not a full featured version. It's like a mobile version, and you cannot use action effects in Photoshop that's on your iPad or your phone. Is there a discount for Prime members? Yes, there is. If you are an active Prime member, and when I say Prime, I'm talking about Photography Academy Prime. This is a membership that we have. If you are an active member of Photography Academy Prime, then please send us an email saying that you purchased the package, and we will give you a $10 rebate back on your credit card. So $10 off to active Prime members. Just send an email to support@timsphotos.com, and we would be very happy to give you a $10 rebate. So if you want to turn your photos into paintings in just one click, and you want to try out different styles to see how they look, this is the easy way to do it. And finally, if you've been around Photography Academy for a long time, you know that our motto is explore, create, and inspire. Now, exploring doesn't just mean that you're out in the field hiking, or you're driving country roads, looking for a new road, looking for a new trail, looking for a new mountain. Exploring also means that you are exploring new ideas. You're exploring new techniques. You're pushing the boundary. You're pushing the envelope. You're trying out new things to see what works for you. Exploring means that you're expanding your knowledge and you are continually learning. And being a lifelong learner means that you need to push that envelope and that you need to continually learn, continually try new things. So I invite you to try this out. There is a 30-day money-back guarantee. If this doesn't work for you, if you don't like it, we'll gladly give you your money back. But I'm pretty sure you're going to love it because I am completely over the moon with this new effect. So for those of you who have any additional questions, if you do, leave a comment here. And if you purchase the product, then and you have any questions, then please leave a comment inside your course library at the place where you download the product and where the how-to videos are. Leave comments there in the form of questions, and we will answer your questions there. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really look forward to seeing some of your successes inside the Photography Academy Facebook group when you convert some of your photos into paintings. I'm really excited about it. It's a new art form. It's opened up a whole new world for me to create a new level of art. And I hope that you kind of catch the wind of this excitement as well. Like, there are just no limits. There are no boundaries here. So thanks, everybody. Explore, create, and inspire. Take care. Bye-bye.